They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mass shooters. There was design fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Ties of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes. That's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Riches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down at roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Going on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on this war in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in this war in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sani, my wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home and change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fancy on her face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. That's why I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that God flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Tahoe Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Lighters in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. It can't, the streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the squab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the squab in my whole life. My whole life.
You start promoting whoredoms with your sexy reds, with your little Kims, with your Megan Thee Stallions, with your Cardi B's, the land falls to whoredoms. That's why the average black woman that's even not a whore has a whore's mentality. Right. You got regular working girls, church girls, that their relationships are based on an exchange. Their relationship is based on what you gonna give me for this sex that I'm gonna give you, for this time I'm gonna give you. Like, their relationship ain't based on, is this a good brother to have a family with? Is he gonna help me raise these children? Are we gonna be able to grow together and become something strong? The average black woman, Latino woman, Native Indian woman now, they done turned her into an exchange student.
White people don't want you to ever know how evil they are.
Yes.
And because of that, we have the myth of the good white man that I've had to contend with for 20 fucking years.
It's amazing.
I mean, who is this person?
Yeah.
Like, who is this? Is this the good white man?
Right.
I think this is him.
That's it.
I think the good white man is this white boy right here.
That's it.
And because you drink coffee with him at your job, I can't talk about slavery.
That's right.
I have to forget slavery.
Yeah. You can't never believe he will dress up
in a uniform with a mask on and put a bullet in the back of somebody's skull. Because some white woman said, I believe in a woman's right to have an abortion. I'm for Kamala. That same white woman voted for Donald Trump. Yes. That same white woman, she's the good white woman. But she's the ally, sir. The ally. Exactly. The ally lied to you about their choice in a president, and they voted for Trump. Your ally who smiles in your face is really a killer.
Don't let nobody gas you up about the Bible. Do not let them do it. Do not let them give you another nation to worship. Don't let them do it. Don't let them take away your identity out of the Bible. And listen, if your identity is not in the Bible, then I don't care how heavy this book is, we should walk away from it. You know why? Because we've been a slave 400 years. It's one thing we should never do is go back to being a slave again. If one day we come in here and we found out, the Bible is really a white man's book. These are white people. It's time to roll. Even though they be right, even though every prophecy right, every scripture right, we still out. Because of course, we can't serve another nation. And so you understand that'll never happen. That'll never happen. And that's why you can't allow yourself to be stolen from this truth. You can't allow yourself to become a victim of another nation. Now, it's going to be offensive. Some cats going to get offended by this. You understand? But nobody stopped every religion on earth from proselytizing our brothers. We done been everything. We done been Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims, Hare Krishnas. I saw a Negro a couple years back, had the orange robe on, all wrapped up, the 3 dots on his head shaved. He in the airport collecting money. We done been Moonies. We been the Moonies. We done been everything but who we should be, but who our identity is. And these prophecies are for us. That's also why nobody can decipher them. Nobody can decipher these prophecies because they're not for them. They're for our nation. You understand? And so the Lord spits on these different nations, man. And he doesn't look at them as anything special. And so we shouldn't look at it as anything special. And we shouldn't look at their religions as anything special. You know what I'm saying? We are fighting for our survival and our race. And our race makes up 12 tribes. And guess what? We can't trade it for nobody. You understand what I'm saying? We can't trade this, man. And listen, and it ain't, once again, we ain't trying to offend nobody. What we are trying to do is show deep love for our own.
All right. We live. Let's get it. Hey, Shalom. Make sure we on. All right, Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barak Thumb. To the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Lataba Shem Yahweh Shah. To the sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And of course, this is our Southern Illinois Brotherhood class that we do every Tuesday. Also, listening to our biblical law class for Southern Illinois as well. We do Monday. Today is our Brotherhood class, and our main goal in the ISUPK every single day, and what we here to do is to let Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians know that you do have a culture. And not only do you have a culture, your culture so happened to be one of the greatest cultures to ever grace the face of this earth. And we know that because it's inside of the Bible, and everybody wants to be those people who's inside of that Bible. Fortunately for you as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, you are those people that the Bible references as the Hebrew or the Israelites, Salagib, of the Bible. That is our culture. We're not Africans. We're not African Americans. We're not Blacks. We're not Negroes. None of those bywords that the oppressor have given us we are the Israelites or the 12 tribes of Israel, Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians from the Bible. Today, our Brotherhood class, we're going to talk about, actually the name of our Brotherhood class should be on the screen. It's Brotherhood, Fatherhood, and Real Unity. I want to bring up these things because they all go coincide with each other. Brotherhood being, our people being one, brothers and sisters. When I say brotherhood, I do mean I'm talking about brotherhood and sisterhood. Fatherhood, which is big for us to be able to grow as a nation. Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, fathers have to be in the household. So that's a very, very important thing as well. And on top of unity, what is real unity? We can start there because it's for the ISUPK, it's a bedrock scripture that we use. And it says, Salagia, one of the bedrock scriptures we use so we can start letting you know, first and foremost, that you the people of the Bible, but secondly, that coming together is what we need to do in order to perpetuate this unity. Is Zephaniah 2:1. It says, gather yourself together. Gather yourself, O nation not desired. We know who this nation, or who are the nations that's not desired. The nations that's not desired, of course, as we see today, the Native American Indians, who half of, maybe 90% of America don't even know where the Native Americans is, or where they reside, or where they live. Even though we have all this social media, even though we have all these television networks, all these documentaries and all these other things, 90% of America still has no idea what the Native American Indians are, which is a sad thing. So they're one nation. They're one nation that's not desired. Of course, our black or so-called black people or so-called African Americans, we've been known to be that nation not desired. Of course, going all through slavery, coming up through the Jim Crow laws, even to today. You look at major events like George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, all of these things that you see happening to our people, that shows you that nobody else wants to be like us. They want our flavor. They want to be cool like us. They want to dance like us. They wish they could. They wish they could play football and basketball like us, but they don't want to deal with the turmoil of the things that we have to deal with. They don't want to have to get pulled over by a cop and be defenseless. They don't want to have to, pay higher rates for loans to get housing, or to get transportation, or to get business loans. They don't want those things set apart from them to oppression. Salakia. They just want the things that ain't Salakia. Let me see if I'm getting some issues. Yeah, they don't want those things. They want the things that aren't oppressive to them. You know what I'm saying? So and the unity. Give me 1 second. Let me get this thing together. Salakia. Hopefully that's a little bit better. It looked like it is. Salakia on that. We're going to get the class started. Of course, today we're going to be talking about brotherhood. Of course, we know brotherhood is literally brotherhood is the principle that really deeply root us as far as Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. It's something that's already instilled in us. Our only problem is the oppressor has taken that spirit out of us of having brotherhood. Why? Because the oppressor has no brotherhood. So by us being oppressed in this land, we've learned the things of our slave masters, and we learn the things of our oppressor. We have always been deeply rooted in the principle of brotherhood. You know, throughout the Bible, these were the laws and the, you know, all the things that that you were taught when you were a child, you know, on being brotherly. And we do this in the ISUPK because we follow the Bible to the T. We're deeply rooted in brotherhood. Brotherhood is a thing that we harp on 24 hours and 7 days out of the week. The brotherhood aspect of these scriptures was for our survival, so we can be able to come together during some of these times that we're gonna need to be able to survive. We're gonna have to grow as a people. America has already set itself against Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man and woman. You know, through all the systematic racism that we got to go through, mass incarceration. We already know mass incarceration been going on ever since after slavery, and Jim Crow is what perpetuated it even more. Poverty, which we still have to this day. We had poverty after slavery, when we still to this day in 2025 have so much poverty throughout the Black and the brown neighborhoods. Just the tearing down of our families have been a big thing with what America has used as a way to cripple Blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians. Yet the Bible teaches us that unity, fatherhood, and brotherhood, all the stuff that we was just talking about, are not just ideals, but it's a lifeline for us to grow, and not only grow but prosper and become a kingdom again as we once were. Brotherhood was a commandment in the Bible, or is a commandment in the Bible. It doesn't tell you that it's option. It's not an option in the Bible to be brotherly. It's not an option to be sisterly. That's not an option in the Bible. It says he commands us to be brotherly. So, and that's throughout the Bible. The Bible talks about it. First scripture, let's see where I'm gonna go first. We're gonna go to John 15 and 12 first. Let's go there. I'll give y'all a second to get there. Go to John 15 and 12. Give you a couple seconds to get there. John 15 and 12. And it's in the KJV. We only read out of the KJV Bible here. We don't read none of that other New Living Translate, all that other stuff. You keep that. That's not the proper way of reading your Bible. You need the 1611 KJV version of the Bible. If you can't get the 1611, I would always propose to get the 1611, but at least get a KJV Bible. I'm gonna go there. John 15 and the 12. It says, "This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you." Now, this scripture is so heavy because if we loved each other the way Christ loved us, we wouldn't be unaliving each other. We would be trying to live for each other. If anything, we would be willing to die for our own brothers. If we and John 15 and 12 is so heavy because it tells you that this is a commandment. So if you this, just in case you don't understand that Christ telling you to love your brother is a commandment, John 15 and 12 tells you this is a commandment. I didn't tell you this was an optional thing to do. I didn't tell you, maybe, or if your brother stepped on your shoe, then you cannot be a brother to him, or then you cannot love him. Or if your brother, is heavy on drugs and acting a little out of pocket, then you don't have to love him no more. Or if your brother don't, that's because he's poor and he don't have the things that he need, or he has a mental illness or things like that, to not love him no more. The Lord says in John 15:12, this is a commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. That means even the brothers who are going through, brothers, and when I say brothers, I do mean brothers and sisters who's been through things in their life that's totally against, of course, what we teach in the school. Our job is still to have a compassion and love for them and try to get them out of, first off, show them the error of their ways. And then, and this is one thing Captain Marquardt always brings out, have the solution to fix the problem. That's the difference between what the ISUPK brings to the table in Brotherhood than anybody else, that's including the Christian church, that's including the purple, people, that's including all the other fake Israelite groups. One thing we do bring to the table is not only to, raise that voice up like a trumpet, like an alarm, or tell people the error of their ways, but it's also that we will have the solution to fix the problem that our people are going through. So by you loving each other the same way Christ loved you, now you no longer, like I said earlier, want to hurt your brother or harm your sister, but now you're willing to die for them. You're willing to you don't mind giving up a portion of your refrigerator to make sure they had something to eat, or a portion or a couple. I don't mind spending no money to make sure my brother have some clothes and shoes on it, on them. You know what I'm saying? Make sure he got a way to get around, or make sure he's able to take care of his children properly. That's the way you have love for one another. Having love for one another don't only extend to brother to brother, sister to sister. It also extend to when you see children. You see some children. It's a lot of children. I'm gonna go through some statistics a little bit later on the Black household and how many children grow up in single parent households. But it's so important for us to, when I say love each other, love one another like Christ loved us, that we also love the children the same way. If we see they ain't got something, if they need something morally, spiritually, first and foremost, because just think about this: if you don't have a father in the household, it changes the dynamic of that household with children. So sometimes it's so important for you as a man to be that father. And, maybe his father was unalived, or maybe his father serving years in jail. Of course, the oppressor finds every way possible to rid the Black and brown household of a man. So maybe those may be the issues. But now, what do you do when you following John 15:12 and you loving one another like Christ loved you? You're going to go and take that child and say, I know he don't have a man in the household, but I'll make sure he gets the substance that he need to be able to grow and potentially be something great, in this earth, instead of becoming a monster, instead of becoming something that America can use its oppression to shackle in a prison system, or to put inside the dirt. That's so important that men step up, as we have done in the ISUPK, raising these young children, especially young boys, 12, 13, 14 and up, because these are the kids that America is season. They taking control over through social media, through hip hop and rap, through all of the demonic strings they have in this earth to control our youth, and control them with money, with sexual deviancies, all of these things that they know that at a certain tender age, between like that 12 to 16, 12 to 17 age, that you can really hook a child. You can really hook especially a Black and brown boy. You can hook them, and you can bring them into the world through all of these little small pitfalls. So That's so huge that us as men first take a step up and make sure we seizing the opportunity to step in to some of these children that don't have fathers. And I'm not saying you got to go and because a sister, ain't got a man that you going that you got to go be a husband. That's not what I'm saying. There's many avenues that you could take. First and foremost, you can come into the ISUPK and become a man that knows how to take in and bring a young man under your wings. That's what we teach here, starting from day one, from becoming a young man all the way up until you're an officer and a captain and so on and so on. So that's the first thing you could do. But you also have other things, coaching. These for people that's not the ISUPK. Go become a football coach, a basketball coach. It's not going to get you nowhere in the world as far as what they going to become later on. But it's just the aspect of having that father figure as a coach. It's something that I grew up with. It's something that kind of molded me. I had a father that was locked up in jail for years. You know what I'm saying? As I was growing up, my football coaches were the ones that instilled in me a little bit of discipline because I didn't have much of it, growing up. So I had those coaches from when I was 6, 7 years old, all the way up until I got, further in high school or whatever. I had those coaches that was able to guide me and give me some kind of morality outside of what I knew already, or what I thought I knew, might I say. We also, while I'm still talking about this, we can go to Psalms 133:1. And like I said, this class today is about fatherhood. It's going to be on brotherhood, but it's also slighting fatherhood as well with unity, because it's all so important, and to bringing our people back together under the umbrella of our Lord and Savior. You know what I'm saying? And also, it's the three things we're gonna need to raise up our kingdom. We always talk about why we can't have the same opportunities as another nation, or why we can't make as much money as another nation, or why they got to be why they more powerful than we are. The reason that is because the punishment that we are under is the punishment by the Lord, where your oppressor has the power over you at this moment. And that's your punishment. That's the punishment that the Lord allowed for our disobedience and not following the law, statutes, and commandments. Now, he didn't tell the oppressor to be, a monster to us. And that's the reason why, our oppressor is going to have his own judgment, and the Lord is going to deal with him differently, because though he had the power over us, and he has the power over us at this moment, I'm saying this as a nation, he didn't have to be so monstrous to us. He didn't have to be so the devil that he is. And for that, reparation is not going to come in the form of money or in the form of all of that. It's going to come in the form of Christ coming back and turning over the kingdom back to you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, man. So be prepared for that. So I'm at Psalms. I said Psalms 133:1. Whenever you get there, let me see where we at right here. Most High in Christ. All right, Psalms 133:1. It says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." Slogging. How good. I'm gonna read it again. Psalms 133:1. This is out of KJV. "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." This is so big in Psalms, and this is such a big thing. It's asking you how good and how pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together in unity. And the problem is, a lot of us don't know how good it is. They don't even know how good it is to ever dwell amongst your brothers, let alone your family, your friends, and dwell in unity. Every time you go to a cookout, it's a fight. Every time you go to, Every time you go to a holiday that they celebrate in the world, Christmas and Thanksgiving, somebody's getting into an argument, somebody getting into a fight. You know, every time y'all out having a good time over the weekend with your boys, with your girls, with your friends, it's arguments, it's fights. It's never unity amongst each other because of what America has done. America has taught us that unity doesn't mean coming together. Unity only means your peace. Unity means how you feel, how peaceful you feel. Now, that's not unity according to the Bible. That's not unity according to what the Lord wants us to do. Unity according to the Lord is us coming together and not having issues. We do it every year for our Passover. We do it every year for the amazing cookouts that we go to and that we have every year. Big up to I believe we got California coming up next for the next cookout. Amazing event that we have every single year. We have these cookouts and Passover and feast days and what have you. And we come to those things, we come to them in unity. It's no issues. It's nobody fighting. It's nobody, arguing the whole. That's not what we do. And we can understand this scripture because we've been through it throughout our, high holy days and things of that nature that we go through. That we know how pleasant it is and how good it is for us to dwell together in unity. And not only that, and this is not even only talking about like holidays and things like that. This is also talking about us living in our neighborhoods and in unity, us living amongst each other in unity. That's hard for people to believe in. Why? Because every ghetto, every barrio, every reservation, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing but turmoil throughout the whole neighborhood. You hear gunshots and killings. I mean, unalivings, suicides at the Native Indian reservations are ridiculous. The First Nation people, the people who were here before anybody, and they are so impoverished and so destroyed that they feel like the lives that they have aren't even worth it anymore. This shows you that we're not dwelling in together in unity right now, and therefore we're not having good times, and we're not having pleasant times because our communities are destroyed right now. Until we bring those communities back up through men that's going to be brothers first and foremost, men that's going to be fathers, you know what I'm saying, to help not only raise their own, but raise the ones that don't have fathers, of course. And that's how you bring your town or your neighborhood back up. That's how you keep gun violence down in your neighborhood. You don't keep gun violence down in your neighborhoods because somebody tells you I'm going to put out a $2 million bill to against gun violence in Chicago. That don't work. How do we know it don't work? Because they've been putting $2 million on gun bills and on laws to stop crime in Chicago and in Baltimore and in Harlem, New York, and all of these places for how long? And they still haven't solved the problem. The problem that the only way to solve this problem is through brotherhood and sisterhood, first and foremost, and by us, Blacks and Hispanics, Native American Indians coming together. Then we won't be rivals in our own neighborhoods. We won't have to look at each other in disgust in our own neighborhoods. I don't have to look at a Hispanic man and say, why is he taking my jobs? I'm going to look at him and say, I'm happy my brother got a job. And that's what's so heavy about that scripture, John 15:12, when he said, this is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. And when you realize and find out that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are brothers and they are family, then you wouldn't hate when they got a job. You wouldn't hate when they have a job that you could have had. You'll be happy for them. You wouldn't hate, when they open up a business in your neighborhood as a Black and Hispanic and Native American Indian. Of course, you wouldn't hate that because you're going to say, hey, that's my brother, man. The same way I need to eat, he need to eat. The same oppression that I've been through, they've been through. The same things that I had to go through with the oppression of America. All three of us, the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, had to go through. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, you got to understand this. The enemy which is our oppressor, thrives when we divide it. Our oppressor thrives when it's gang on gang violence, when it's blacks against browns, when it's black so-called black people against Hispanics, Native American Indians, when it's fathers against the sons in the communities. Like, our oppressor thrives on those things. But the scriptures remind us that unity is not only pleasant, it's our power. Brotherhood is how we survive and how we rebuild. You know what I'm saying? Brotherhood is how we rebuild and survive in a horrible place. But unity and us coming all together is what we get our power back at. So I want y'all to understand that. That's why I'm putting all three of these together in this Brotherhood class, so you can understand that all three of these things are needed for you to be able to survive, not only in this place of America, but it's going to be what you need to survive. I mean, once them angels come back and crack the sky, you're gonna need this brotherhood. You definitely need unity, and you're gonna need fatherhood, because father's gonna have to teach men how to hunt. Father's gonna have to teach men how to do a lot of things to help our people survive once it's once the Christ come back. So America's opposition is blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians. So we can't ignore that America has covered itself against us. We can't ignore that. From slavery to Jim Crow, from reading redlining, the police brutality, the system has been designed to just keep us broken. As long as we here, and as long as we not together, and as long as we not brotherly and sisterly to each other. And we know that, and we see it every single day. I'm gonna go to Deuteronomy real quick and read this, Deuteronomy 28 and 37. If I could, I'll give y'all a second to get that. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. All right, if y'all are there, I'm gonna go ahead and read it. And it said, "Thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword amongst all the nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee." Now, this is telling you that you're going to be astonished, like even to this day, when our oppressors look at us, even especially Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, when they look at us in disgust and just astonishment. You ever seen somebody look at somebody like, really? Like, that's how our people look at. That's how the oppressor looks at us. Proverbs and bywords. They giving us words like Afro-American, Negro, nigger, African-American, all these things. And all these nations have done this. And wherever he took us to, if he took us to Puerto Rico, we was in the same situations. He took us to Jamaica. We was in the same situations. UK, America, we've been like the entire 12 tribe chart. The 12 tribes of Israel are going through the same astonishment and the same curses that Deuteronomy has put in front of us, which is Deuteronomy 28th verse and 15th chapter. It starts off telling you all of these curses that you're going to go through when you get into the land of your captors or the land of your oppressors. And if you go through it, I don't know how many times I've read through these chapters. Every single one of them is us. And whether you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, it's us. So it's so important that you take heed to Deuteronomy 28:15. Also take heed to Deuteronomy 28:1, because it also tells you how you get out of it, how you not have to go through those things. You understand? So just understand, like, I got a couple statistics over here too. I want to read for you. It says statistics reflect this reality. Nearly 1 in 3 Black boys born today can expect to be incarcerated during his lifetime. That's 1 in 3. So if I got a couple people watching. So out of three of y'all, if you're 3, I ain't gonna say 3 people. Out of 3 men that's watching this this Brotherhood class, one of y'all, they say, is going to be incarcerated. Out of 3 black men, every 1 out of 3 black men that's born today can expect to be incarcerated during his lifetime. That is a horrible thing, and it shows you the how subtle our oppressor is. That 1 out of every 3 is going to be at least locked up once. Hispanic families are twice as likely as white families to live in poverty. Of course, we know that. You know what I'm saying? And then Native American communities face unemployment and suicide rates that's above the national average. Of course, we know that, being in a Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. This is what we teach all the time. So this is right here is a statistic by CNN, and I'm looking at it, and we teach this every single day. I mean, this is what we've been teaching since 1969. But of course, if CNN tell you, you'll believe it. So that's why we use the artifacts such as CNN and all these other things. But we've been saying this since 1969. Suicide rates are ridiculous. And I just said this before I even read this. Suicide rates are ridiculous in the Native Indian reservations. Unemployment is is triple more than anybody else's in the Native Indian reservations. 1 in every 3 black boys that are born are going to get incarcerated. These are just facts. You can't get over it. These conditions, they're not by accident. I hope you don't think all of these things are happening accidentally. These are the result of systematic, like the systematic oppression that we go through. These are all systematically oppressions for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Brotherhood becomes our shield to get through this stuff right here, through unemployment, through suicide, through 1 out of 3 sons getting locked up. Brotherhood gets us through that. How? Because we will raise men to not break the law. Sounds easy, right? Us in the ISUPK, we don't Salah, can you give me 1 second? Yeah, us in the ISUPK, we try to raise the younger men up and men up to become lawful, might I say, at least by the standards of you won't get arrested because you making dumb decisions in America. You know what I'm saying? You won't be the one that say, I know my rights. Hey, what did you pull me over? See, here's what's wrong with us. We feel like we have the same kind of equality of our oppressors, or even the Asian man or the East Indian man or whatever. We feel like we have that same type of equality to say the things that they say to cops and police officers, and that we're going to be okay. But that's not the case. The case is when you tell a police officer that I know my rights, he look at you and says, you ain't got no damn rights. What damn rights are you talking about? But in ISUPK, we understand that, all right, cool. We ain't no use to us. We don't have to argue. You know what I'm saying? What we're going to do is we're going to give you the ID, and we're going to go on fighting in court how we supposed to. Because here's the issue. Just like a cat see a ball roll across the floor, that's how the police looks when he sees escalation. You want a police officer to de-escalate. A police officer doesn't know how to de-escalate for you. He's not taught to de-escalate for you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian man. Just like that cat ain't taught to sit still when he see a ball rolling across the floor. It's his nature. His nature is to see the ball roll across the floor and pounce on it like a predator would do. And so is the white man. The white man does the exact same thing. He sees a Black man or Hispanic man, and he sees them doing, he sees them, being accelerative of their attitude, or starting to raise their attitude and be a certain type of way. He knows it's time to pounce. I'll show him who's boss. I'll show him I'm over him. You know what I'm saying? So we know, hey, I just give him my ID. He do what he got to do. I do what I got to do, and that's how you settle that. But I wouldn't have. Here's the thing: before I came to ISUPK, I didn't know that. And before I came into ISUPK, I thought that anytime you had an issue with a police officer, you had to be tougher than him, or look tough, or act tough, or if your boys around you, you got to be tough. Not knowing that's an easy way to get to a grave. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is, they have someone backing them, and that's society. Society would always back a police officer, but they won't back you, black man, Hispanic man. They won't do it. So, so the importance of having brotherhood is that we learn these lessons early. Another importance is fatherhood. So we learn these lessons as children. You know what I'm saying? That's why, once again, I put it together. The importance of fathers in the household. The importance of fathers in the household. It's like like not having a father in the household is one of the probably the biggest crises in the black neighborhood, brown neighborhood. The absence of the father has always been systematically put in place. I know at least just about the 80s, I want to say. It's not by nature. And I think a lot of times black and Hispanic people think that this is something that we've done to ourselves. This is all done. This was always done by design. Everything to oppress you has been done by design. The prison systems, welfare, all the policies in welfare and all of those things, and the like all the things that economically contributes to your oppression, all of this stuff, especially breaking the family structure down, like, because that's what we talk about when it comes to fathers being in the household, breaking down the family structure. These are all just systematic things that they've done to us over the last couple decades, because since we've been crying for equality so much as blacks and Hispanics, we've always wanted this equality, and the equality of the white man and the equality of everybody in America, that we fail to realize that America was never set for your equality. So even though first off, you still 2/5 of a man, however they said it, the 3/5 of a man in the Constitution. On top of that, you got to remember that the laws that and the policies that they're building are for you to go to jail, black man, for you to be unalived, black man, for you to be deported, Hispanic man, for you to commit suicide, Native Indian man. All of these policies that America has done, especially to the Native American Indians, have them so deep in poverty that they don't even want to live. So the systematic oppression ain't just for black people; it's for the Hispanics and the Native American Indians as well. They put you take a Hispanic man and take his son and take him and his son and go put him in a dog cage on the border and leave the mother here who was American born is a diabolical thing. It's a diabolical thing that you couldn't even believe that it happens, but it does. I'm gonna read. So on that note, us raising our sons up the correct way is so important. So they also don't have to deal with the quarrels of life, the bad things that goes on, especially gang violence and all of these things in our neighborhood. So when you're raising your son, especially for men, you got to make sure you have not only discipline, but also raise them with some kind of valor. It should be they should want to look up to you. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't look at you and say, "Dang, my dad just an asshole." It ain't mine, of course. Or my dad is just horrible, a horrible man. All he do is beat me all day. He don't never tell me what I did wrong. He just a horrible man. That's not just because you in a household all the time doesn't mean you're a great father. Now, let's not get it twisted. Don't be the one that say, "Well, I'm in the household, so I'm doing what I'm supposed to do." It's also how you got to care. The Bible tells you how to carry yourself as a father to raise up not only loyal children, but the Bible calls them weapons. they're going to be your weapons later on in life. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by weapon is they're going to help build the kingdom that you're trying to build. And the way they're gonna do that is the same way that you keep your family safe. They're gonna make sure they keep the entire family safe, and be available and loyal and disciplined with everything that they do. I'm gonna read you Ephesians 6:4, real quick. I'm gonna just go through it because I didn't know I had as many scriptures. So like it says, "And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nature and a domination of the Lord." So this saying, don't be the one, like I was just saying, don't be the one to provoke your son or provoke your son or any child, period, but your son especially, to go do things outside of the righteousness of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Don't provoke. Don't be this piece of shit dad that your son don't look to you for the righteous things that he needs to do, but instead you provoke him to go out into the world and do unrighteous things because he doesn't respect you, because you never showed him what respect is. You never gave him the discipline. You never gave him the things he need that was going to account for him to grow up in life. You know what I'm saying? Don't be that dad, that father. You know what I'm saying? It say, but bring them up in the nature and the domination of the Lord. Bring them up the same way I just read John earlier for you. That love one another like Christ loved you. Bring them up like the Father brought you. The Father loved you. He gave you direction. How do we know he gave you direction? You have a Bible, and not only do you have a Bible, he came and showed you that this Bible can be followed. He came as an example, the same way you should be to your child, the same way you should be to your son. You should be an example to your son on how to become a great man, the same way that Christ was an example to us on how we can become great and perfect and for the Most High. You're supposed to be able to do the same exact thing. And that's what Ephesians is talking about. You want to be, you want him to grow up and have that and come up in the nature. What that nature is, what your son is a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. His nature is to follow the Lord. His nature is to follow the Lord. That means you want to grow him up in that nature of following the Lord. We're gonna run through Proverbs 22:6, and this just goes along with it. It says, "Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Once again, that's what I was talking about earlier, about him being a weapon for you. And not only that, you raise up your child a certain way. It doesn't mean that your child ain't gonna falter and they're not gonna go and do some things outside of what you taught them. And also, it doesn't mean that you're a bad parent. You know what I'm saying? The Most High gives us the commandments and laws of what not to do, and we have a choice to follow those laws, and that's our Father. Our Father. Now, our Father gives us these laws, statutes, and commandments and says, "This is what I want you to do." But if you don't do them, now if you do them, I'll give you Deuteronomy 28:1-15. You understand? But if you don't do them, you're going to get everything after 15. You're going to get all the destruction and all of the slavery and us hating each other. You're going to get all of that. That's what's going to happen. That's how you raise your children. Train them up, meaning give them these law, statutes, and commandments and tell them, "Hey, look, this is the way. This is what you should be following. This is what you should be doing." Now, if you follow my rules of my household, because of course the rules in my household are going to be the same rules that I followed in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But if you follow my rules, then you'll have all the things you need in life. You'll have money. You'll have a good job. You'll go to college. You'll go to college and do something that you want to do. You'll grow up. For my daughter, you'll have a decent husband that I approve of course, and You'll have a great family, you have children, and you'll grow up and have a great life. And then your children would do the same thing that I taught you, because you're going to teach them that. For my sons, you're going to teach your sons the same thing that I taught you. And the cycle no longer becomes a cycle, but becomes nature. You understand? It becomes nature. So that's why it's so important training up your child the way they should go. And on top of that, even if they don't go that route, if they don't go the route that you raised them to become, and if you have more kids, just train them up. You never know. The Lord have changed the hearts of some of the hardcore people. I mean, come on, some of the hardest people that ever been heard of. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, Paul was one of them. Paul had one of the hardest. The Lord changed his heart. You know what I'm saying? Blinded him, and the brother became one of the most iconic men of the Bible. You understand? So we're gonna go off there. I'm gonna give you some more statistics, because I like to bring statistics in there as well. So just so us as Black and Hispanic people understand how dire it is for these things to happen, brotherhood, fatherhood, and unity to happen. So there's another statistic: 65% of Black children grow up in single parent households, compared to 24% white children. So 65% Black children, 65. That is much over half of Black people, Black children, grow up in a single parent household. Well, only less than a quarter grows as a white child grow up in a single parent household. You know what I'm saying? And this is so sad. I mean, it's not sad for I'm so used to seeing this, and I've been in the school long enough to read these statistics on a daily basis almost. If you ain't in this school, you should be thinking to yourself, like, well, what the hell taking me so long? Reading those statistics by itself, even if you is a single parent, if you're a single mother, coming to the schools and you can have a father for your son or for your daughter, have somebody that's going to give them some direction outside of somebody that's in the world who's really out just to get inside your underwear. You know what I'm saying? Who's really just there to, make you a piece on their arm and never really want anything that's going to be valuable to a family. You understand? It also says children without fathers are 4 times more likely to live in poverty, 7 times more likely to become pregnant as teens, and twice as likely to drop out of high school. When a father is present, raising his children in righteousness, the household becomes. Hold on, I'll read something else. Okay, it says, I skipped to the wrong part. When a father is present, the household becomes stronger and the community begins to grow. So this is what some of the I guess what they call them scientists or whatever, the people who do these statistics, they saying that if the fathers were in the household, that it would bring down all of this stuff to 4 times more likely to be poverty, 7 times more likely to become pregnant at teens. It'll bring it down so much that we could basically heal our community just by fathers being in the household. And it's the white man saying this. Our oppressor is saying this. You understand? So brotherhood and fatherhood go hand in hand, just in that sense. Brotherhood is not about really like standing like. Brotherhood is more like, I don't want to say it. It ain't like standing shoulder to shoulder. It's more like I stand in the gaps that he can't do. So if my brother like Azan, I know Azan always on watching the show. My brother Azan, if he can't do something, I'm able to help him, or I'm able to make him stronger at something. He's able to make me stronger. Therefore, when I'm weak, he's strong, and when he's weak, I'm strong, and we make each other strong. We know how to balance it out. That's how you build not only a strong brotherhood, but you also build you're gonna build a great community that way. Where now you ain't worried about poverty, because where this person ain't got, somebody else gonna come and bring it to him. Somebody else gonna come and make sure he has it. You understand? Let me see. Oh no, I'm almost done now. Sloggy. Let me see. Let me get back to where I'm at. Sloggy. Okay, yeah. So, so when the fathers are missing, you got to have brothers that's able to rise to the occasion, rise and protect, guide and mentor these children. It's so important. I know Captain Marquardt talk about this all the time. Hopefully he don't mind me talking about him. He used to be a basketball coach, and he always equate a lot of things that we do to these things to his coaching, because he had to basically raise a lot of youth and black boys in the urban neighborhood to become basketball players. But not only basketball players, he had to teach them how to be disciplined. He had to teach them how to be to have unity. That's what a team is. A team is unity, being able to unify. Another thing he had to teach them, he had to put them in position to be a great team. What do I mean by that? He was a basketball coach. He didn't put somebody that was that couldn't rebound. He didn't put them. He can't rebound the ball, so I'm gonna put him. I put him at center. No, he knew where to put him. He said, "I'm gonna put the tall guy who can rebound at center. I'm gonna put the guy who can dribble. He gonna be my point guard." He knew where to put them at. You know what I'm saying? In order to build a team to be great. That's what brotherhood is. Brotherhood is, where you fit in to make this whole team great. The Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, we know where we fit in at to build the Lord's kingdom and to make the Lord's kingdom a great place to be for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Now, the only thing is we have to be able to get more men, more brothers, more fathers, more sisters, more children a part of the ISUPK so we can build this great community. You want to be out of poverty? I'm just keeping that. We don't know what poverty is. We might be times where we don't have money, but poverty is when you have no way of eating, nowhere to stay, we don't have that in the ISUPK, because it's always a barracks where you can stay at. It's always what you're going to eat. Whether you got a job or not, you're going to eat. Your children are going to eat. You're going to have a father for your children if you're a single mother in the ISUPK. And what I mean by that is you're going to have somebody there to mentor your child or to guide your child. And not only that, to protect you and your child if you're in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Brotherhood means being a father to the fatherless. You know what I'm saying? That's it, even of course, that's in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Let me go. Actually, I might as well. You know what? I'm gonna save that one. But being a brother is being a father to the fathers. You know what I'm saying? That's part of brotherhood. Brotherhood ain't just having, hey, that's my boy. We came up in the school together. No, it's that little boy that don't have a father. That this sister walked into the class, watched the class, and you see that her son is being unruly. You take the son and say, hey, look, man, why you gotta be able to learn how to mentor these children. And depending on what age they are, there's certain ways you mentor them. There's certain ways you deal with them. That's what you're gonna learn when you come into the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Brotherhood and fatherhood is one of the most important things, next to following these laws, statutes, and commandments. And not only is that, they are commandments to be brotherly and to be a father. So let me see what I got left. What time I got left? All right, I got a few more in me. So we do know that America has stacked the deck against us. They put so many obstacles in our way as Black and Hispanic, Native American, Indian people that they put our own women against us. Them putting our women against us was another tactic to destroying our households. It's so hard to rebuild households now because they didn't took the equation of the woman out of the household. And what I mean by taking a woman out of the household, meaning you have a woman that has a kid, but she doesn't want a husband, a husband. She don't want a father for a son. What she want is somebody who gonna give her money to take care of all of her needs. and take care of the things that she wants to get taken care of. So she took herself out of a relationship or a family relationship and says, I just want to care for me and mine. And that's the identity that our women in 2025 as black and Hispanic women have in 2025. They don't care about a man being in the house. Oh, that's far from what they care about right now. What they care more about money and about having notoriety from people that men has no it's no big thing to them. And how do we know that? You just look at every video, music video, TikTok, and where it's a woman saying, I don't need a man. I don't need a man in the household. I'm fine. I can take care of mine. I'm an independent woman. You even got men that say they want independent women. And it's nothing wrong. Now, here's the thing. When I'm saying independent, I mean I'm a woman that says she doesn't need a man. Now, I understand there's women out here who saying I want to be independent, meaning I can take on business independently and take care of my family still, which is nothing wrong with that. If you're able to take care of business independently, of course, you're still going to have that guidance from your husband or the man in your household. But of course, you still will be independent financially, making that cash on your own. Or maybe you got your own business, you do eyelashes or whatever you do. I get that. What I'm talking about is a woman saying, I don't need a man for nothing. What I need a man for, and go home and cry every night because they wish a man was in the bed sleeping with them. And go home every night because they can't understand why they can't get little Timmy to stop hopping around in the room and cursing her out and pulling out knives on her. She can't understand it. But then on Facebook and IG and everything else, she gonna tell you, I don't need no man. I don't need no man. The man can't control me. He ain't my daddy. Well, it's so far from what the meaning of it needs to be. It should be, how about I go get me a man that's worth something first and foremost, that is going to take care of my children, but also they're going to help guide me and protect me and make sure that I don't make bad decisions. Because you can be an independent woman and have your own business and things like that, but you can still make bad decisions. You can still make immoral decisions that a lot of men are able to they'll be able to help you get through and fix. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. So these are the things we pretty much got to do for this class. I'm just going to recap what we talked about for this class. Rebuilding brotherhood. I mean, we got to pretty much put aside all the craziness, the petty differences that black and brown and people, black and brown people go through. And come together instead of, pulling out a gun on each other or pulling out weapons on each other or fighting each other or worrying about why the Hispanic man down the street took one of the jobs or why the black man down the street took a job, or instead of worry about who got on red and who got on black and who got on blue and gold or whatever other color that, really doesn't mean anything. Instead of worrying about that, it's time to rebuild brotherhood. Let's rebuild brotherhood and put away all those childish and petty differences that America has used systematic obstacles, in front of us to make us go against each other. Systematic platforms to make us go against each other. Secondly, we're going to restore fatherhood. Brotherhood and fatherhood goes together. It goes together like, what's that? Cake and ice cream, something like that. One of those. Jack and Coke. It goes to that's how fatherhood and brotherhood goes together. Therefore, if it's not a father in the household, children should always still have a father. That's how brotherhood works. It should always be a father, no matter if there's a father or not. If a father got unalived, if a father went to jail, there's always a man that's there to protect your son, your daughters. And like I said, it don't have to necessarily be somebody who's with the mother. It could just be a man with some discipline that just says, I don't want to see our black and brown youth turn into degenerates. You understand? And then last but not least, it's us strengthening our people, our community, blacks and Hispanics, supporting one another economically, You know what I'm saying? When we selling things, we go buy from each other. You know what I'm saying? Tulsa, Oklahoma, that they said it took, man, I think it was 6 months or something before a dollar even left out of there. $1, it took that long. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get back to support each other economically. That means for us, that means we got to put out quality things, and also we can't be the ones that say, "Hey, can I get a discount?" Sometimes you just got to get that brother. If the brother asks for $20, get a brother $20. The brother is working hard to maintain and start a business. Help the brother, Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian man out and give him what he do. Stop trying to get over all the time, because you don't get over on the white man. So don't try to get over on your brother. And last, also righteously, spiritually through the truth, law, statutes, commandments. That's another thing. That's how we strengthen our community, bring our unity together. Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourself together on nation not desired. Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, you are the nation not desired. So just understand, with all of those things, that's how we restore our communities. That's our law, pretty much our last call to action is brotherhood, fatherhood, and unity between all of us, Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. Before I leave, I'm gonna give you my last verse, because this is one of my favorite verses when it comes to brotherhood. It's Ecclesiastes 4:9 through 10. And I'm gonna read it real quick. It says, two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. This scripture is so heavy to me because it just shows you what I was just talking about earlier when I said, like me and Azan, if I'm hurt, if I'm weak somewhere, he's strong. If I'm strong somewhere, he weak. This scripture tells you if I'm falling, or if I fail, or say I fall on hard times, I have somebody else and my brother to come pick me up. I mean, if I'm failing and Zon see that he hurting, he gonna come and pick me up and say, "Hey, look, don't worry about it. Hey, they don't." That's where you get rid of suicide. That's where you get rid of all of these going to commit what they call it, going to steal and rob people. You won't have to worry about that if you knew that when you fail, your brother come pick you up. With that, I'm gonna end this class. Join us every Tuesday for the Brotherhood class. Also join us for this ISUPK Southern Illinois. Also join us for ISUPK Southern Illinois biblical law classes we do every Monday. Some hardcore classes they teach. All the brothers teaching that's helping out with the Southern Illinois. Once again, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. If it's not of the ISUPK, it's not of the truth. Hey, see y'all next week. Shalom, Israel.